No sketching part this time. I guess we should start with forming the whole main shape. I'm gonna use this one beige color as a skin color. It's gonna be challenging, because sketch is a big part of my process. If separated into some stages, the process becomes clear, and it's actually important to me to be able to concentrate on certain tasks and not at multiple at once, such as, just creating the composition now, just picking the main colors now, just creating lights now, etc. With no sketching part, I'm losing this opportunity, and I'm working on multiple tasks at once now. I'm creating the shape, I'm also working with values, and I'm also working with colors. To reduce the amount of these tasks to just shapes and values, but no colors, no picking hues for now, I planned to maybe start with monochrome on the painting, but I don't know, it's kind of a cheating, because it's still gonna be kind of a sketch anyway. Maybe not exactly, but it just felt wrong to add monochrome on the painting if I decided to, avoid including any sketching part this time. And as a result, after I created, at least approximately, I created the whole shape. It looks like some kind of a base for now. I'm gonna try to somehow to define it with light spots from now. The complexity of that is, first, I never paint this way, and it's really confusing. I don't have any guidelines to navigate me not to lose the proportions, and I'm not even talking about resemblance and facial features. And second, as I mentioned before, one thing is to just create light and shadow spots, and then there's also creating it with picking the hues at the same time. Light and shadow spots are just dark and light. It's values and it's about darkness and lightness. No hues invited. And colors are temperature and hues and picking needed chroma. It's actually hard to explain it just like that, but to keep it simple, it's two completely different aspects, different stages, and I always separate it from each other. But this time it all got messy, and somehow I decided to immediately paint with colors and values at the same time. I don't know why, actually. To be honest, only now, watching this process, I realized that I could still separate it. I could try to make it work the usual way, but it's like I was completely confused in the process from very beginning, and as a result, I stayed confused almost till I finished the piece. Like, I completely forgot what I usually do and how to make it work this time. I used a lot of Liquify tool at some point. I tried to make the proportions work. I accepted the fact that there's gonna be no resemblance this time, but at least proportions. Please. Then it's hair, and it was this stage when I started to feel much more confident. I was past this stage of the absolute confusion, even started to enjoy the process a little. I love to create hair with lasso tool, and the colors today are so nice to work with. It's close by values to all the colors of the character, to the skin color. It's my favorite kind of color combinations. I don't know why, but it's just so satisfying when there's just a slight difference in values between hair color and skin color, and the hues are different, but still it's very close to each other. It creates this special smooth effect. I don't know, I just love how it looks. And obviously, after I got to remember what my usual process is, I also remembered that there's multiply layer to use. And I started to define the shapes by using lasso tool, adding the most dark areas to emphasize the difference in values of a whole piece. I also created some shadows and hair, some texture on her jeans this way, and at this point, literally, all of a sudden, I realized that the piece is actually almost done. I almost finished it, and I was so satisfied with how it came up, really, and I decided to experiment a little and try to start the rendering part, so I copied the canvas, and right now I'm working on a copy. It's in case I ruin it and decide to step back. I wanted to give it more difference in values, because first time I did it with multiply layer, it changed the whole piece and made it look fine, so I thought it's time for the opposite side of values, lights, more of the highlights even. And I started to outline needed areas with lasso tool and color it with highlight colors with half opaque brush. And here, thanks God, almost for the first time in this process, I'm concentrating on this one task specifically, to find the most illuminated areas and to light it up. This stage can change the shapes a lot, if not completely, it can still change our perception of it in context of how standing out the shape is. As an example, how fluffy the cheeks or maybe sharp cheekbones. We finish the features with this stage, giving it more defined, specific shape. And you may have noticed that I sometimes flip the reference picture and the painting. I do this to refresh my look at these two, to make sure everything is fine with proportions and it just all looks fine. Because we kind of lose the objective perspective on things if stare for too long. That's also a reason to take small breaks once an hour or so to just refresh your view on the reference picture and your painting. Well, they definitely doesn't look similar, but I swear I'd be unconscious for now if I tried to keep the resemblance too. I'm happy she's at least does look like a human being, and even proportions are kinda fine. The expression of these two are completely different though. Anyway, I'm done here. Thank you guys for watching. I see you in the next video.